Third MBH Corporation Meet the Principals event. My name is Vicky Sylvester and I will be your host for this event in the next hour. And as per our previous webinars, this is your opportunity to hear directly from the CEOs and senior leaders in the businesses in the MBH group, where you can get to learn more about them, more about their companies, and also get to learn more about what it's like being part of MBH. As it's the start of a brand new year, we are going to focus on what this year will bring and look forward to the future. And just to give you as a reminder of 2020 is that we welcomed 12 amazing companies into the MBH family last year, added 4 new verticals and welcomed companies from Singapore, from Australia and from the USA. And we even had some joined us in the last quarter as we moved out of 2020. And just to remind you who they are, do look out for them. You will be learning more about them today on this webinar. But they were Aaron King from Coble Constructions, who are based over in Australia, Amanda Sumner from MVQ Nails and Beauty Academy, who are another tactical acquisition for Acacia Training, Paul Vaughan from Academy Group 1, who is based in Essex in the UK, and Gary Marshall, who joins us from Victoria Gosden Travel, who are part of ADT and our first ADT's tactical acquisition into the group. And for those that have been keeping an eye on MBH this morning, you will have also noticed we had a new member join us at lunchtime. So a warm welcome to 3K Engineering from Wales. We felt it was a bit mean to ask them to jump on this call, but be rest assured we will include them in the call in April. So the format of the webinar, we're going to show you a short video and then that's going to be followed by a live Q&A session. Do please feel free to post your question and answers in the question and answer box. We will get us round to as many questions as we can. We have had some come in prior to the event and we will follow up with you. So if we don't get round to your question or you have a question after this event, we will reach out to you and hopefully get everybody's questions answered. We've got principals from every vertical. So if you do have a vertical specific question, please do ask. And so let's begin. We'll start with the video. And just a reminder, our question was, what are your plans for 2021? So enjoy.
My name is Aaron King. I'm the principal for Coble Constructions. We were recently acquired by MBH Corporation in October 2020 last year, using the extra bond program offered by MBH Corporation. The acquisition by MBH Corporation was quite strategic on their behalf. Given we're a strictly focused commercial construction company, we slotted in quite nicely to the rest of the construction companies within MBH Corporation's portfolio. We're located in Canberra, Australia. We have been there for the last 20 years and we've built up a great reputation amongst the clients and the demographic that we do work for. As of September 2020, our EBIT was 2.6 mil and the revenue was 11.4. We plan on exceeding this moving forward with winning more work and acquiring more businesses to increase our market share and service offering. Coble Construction strictly focuses on project management and construction management services for the commercial, defence, state government and federal government. So fantastic tier 1 clients that we've been working with for the last 20 years and we plan on working with them for the foreseeable future. Joining MBH Corporation was a pivotal moment for Coble Construction's future, enabling us to grow to the next level by being part of a larger vehicle to start winning more contracts, to start attracting more key managers in place to help grow the business organically, internally, and also externally via other acquisitions. Since joining MBH Corporation, Coble Constructions has been invited to tender for much larger projects and has been winning more projects on a consistent basis. Our plans are to continue to grow at a sustainable yet exciting pace and focus on strategic acquisitions for our increased market share and service offering in Canberra's commercial construction market.
Hi, I'm Vicky Sylvester. I'm the CEO at Acacia Training. We are a strategic acquisition and we deliver UK-based education. So thinking about 2021, we are super excited about 2021. We have loads of stuff going on. We've seen Acacia move more into the employability sector. We are now a UK government approved gateway on the Kickstart scheme. and there's plenty of opportunities we're working on around that area. We've expanded our programs, our geographies, moving into some new sectors, as well as our online offer. We've been approved now for qualifications to be delivered outside of the UK as well as inside the UK at higher levels, and built some really strong partnerships. So really excited about all of this, and we think this year we're really going to see all that come together. We are still continuing with our acquisition strategy and looking for businesses that are adding value. We're adding value to each other and each other's offers, and really strengthening that collaborative working relationship. So that is going to continue through 2021. And all in all, we're looking forward to it, and hope you enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you.
Hello there, my name's Paul Vong, MD of Academy One Group Limited. A1 Sports is a training organisation focused primarily on sports education programmes based at various centres throughout London and Essex. And we have a partnership with colleges, professional and semi-professional football clubs. We also run traineeships and apprenticeship programmes as well. Since our beginning in 2013 with 25 students, we have now grown to over 750 students on various education programmes that A1 run. We have a turnover of 3 million with an EBIT of 600k. We joined MBH in 2020. Our future growth is to maintain our study programmes, to have up to 1,000 apprenticeships by 2022, and to continue to employ the best staff to deliver. We'd hope to have our own traineeship prime to continue our growth and forecast for the future. We joined MBH to have a stronger team behind us, to tap into principals that have good knowledge, and to be involved with a group that has ambition, to grow by a vehicle of acquisitions, to maintain the growth and profits.
Hello, my name is David Hunter, and I'm the CEO of VGT Taxis, a taxi company based in Leicestershire, running a fleet of 600 cars, and we joined MBH in August. My challenge or mission for 2021 is to increase bookings and booking automation by using cloud-based technology.
In 2021, we plan to increase the amount of cloud-based technology we use. We already use a booking system,
which is cloud-based and tracks all the drivers via GPS, which helps our call centre in Pakistan take calls. We plan to roll out our new Take Me app across the UK to other taxi companies to form a national network. This will be launching in January. We have also developed our food delivery app, which will be launching at the end of the month.
Hello, my name is David Howes. I am the principal and founder of Cape Limited. Cape was set up in 2005, early 2005, in Auckland, New Zealand, as a commercial and retail fit-out contractor. The retail and commercial fit-out formed 90% of our business until the GFC. When that market tightened up, we diversified and started doing commercial refurbishments and seismic upgrades following the Christchurch earthquake. We've done projects nationwide, North and South Island, as well as 2 hotel refurbishments in Fiji. We've also set up a maintenance division which services our clients' needs once we've handed projects over to them. We currently have 28 full-time staff, and last year we had a turnover of 50 million New Zealand dollars. We've got quite a large, well-established client base. We tend to get quite a lot of repeat business from clients, and we've been established in the Auckland market quite a while now. We joined MBH very early on in the piece as one of the founder companies. We believed there would be synergy with similar businesses in New Zealand and Australia and the Pacific Basin that we could piggyback off. We also saw it as an opportunity to grow and develop Cape as a business, and to get some large company backing and access to funds for bonds and for funding larger projects. We've also believe it's a good way to get our staff involved, and we have a scheme whereby we issue MBH shares to our staff on an annual basis.
Ian Elsie here, CEO of Geisha. We are a refurbishment contractor. We deconstruct and repurpose listed buildings. Now 2020 wasn't without its challenges. I can only describe it to not just redirecting the ship, it was like balancing on its stern. Albeit it did prove that we can adapt to such an incident in a short space of time, and as a result we were able to continue to deliver quality projects on time and budget, and have also been able to secure a confident pipeline of projects for 2021. Now with COVID still a threat, on Monday the 8th of January we opened our first on-site COVID testing centre to ensure our sites remain uninterrupted and COVID free. Since then, we have rolled out a programme across 3 other sites, and on the 20th of January, rolled out this within our sister company, GS Contracts. Please enjoy the short video of a project carried out collaboratively during the global pandemic of 2020.
I'm here to announce that we have successfully completed the full refurbishment of this Grade 1 listed property in Bloomsbury, in collaboration with our client, the Bedford Estate, and their design teams. I'm extremely proud of what has been achieved, and credit goes to the delivery team, who successfully navigated a global pandemic whilst ensuring the project was delivered on time and budget. We're able to report that after 27,000 recorded working hours, our staff, visitors and contractors remain COVID free. I'd now like to hand over to our project manager David Wood, who talked you through the challenges he had to overcome to obtain such a successful delivery.
Challenge began on March 23rd when we entered the first lockdown. Although we managed to continue with the project, it was with reduced personnel and limited supplies, and having to learn a new way of working, incorporating social distancing. Our goal was to deliver a refurbishment of a stunning Grade 1 listed 5-storey townhouse and refurbish the coach house building at the rear of the property, whilst constructing a 4-storey abstract glazed gallery link to connect the two together and deliver a unique commercial space for our client. The works comprised of a full M&E upgrade throughout, including the installation of comfort cooling, as well as the fabrication and installation of bespoke features. We also constructed an extension to the second floor of the coach house to allow our client to offer a more commercial letting space and enhancing the flow between the coach house and the townhouse. We decided to apply air-like paint throughout the property, reducing air pollution and turning the walls into a natural air purifier. Throughout the project, we used a combination of in-house expertise and specialist subcontractors. Our recent acquisition, GS Contracts, manufactured and installed all bespoke joinery and metalwork items. Geisha's aim on all projects is to work in collaboration with the client and the consultants to ensure their vision is achieved throughout the delivery of the projects and their overall expectations are fulfilled.
Hi, I'm Gary Smith and I'm the founder of GS Contracts, established as a limited company in 1992. We joined MBH in July of last year through acquisition by Geisha. We are based in Colchester, Essex in the east of England. Our services are summarised as a specialist interior fit out and bespoke manufacturing contractor, working in a diverse range of sectors through the marketplace. For the future, despite the volatile pattern of business from April 20 last year, we continue to have a consistent stream of inquiries and believe that we will see growth in our business this year, which will be good for us and good for the investors. Thank you very much.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you're viewing this. My name is Scott Linden. I am the Managing Director and the Principal for de Boulay Contracts. We all get asked what our businesses do, and we have pigeonholed what we do, and that is transforming spaces. We transform your home, your office, your restaurant, your shop, and your hotel. By transferring and replicating proven experiences in one sector, we find is an asset to others. We are based in southwest London, but we work all over the country and are spread as far as Paris and Verviers in Switzerland. We have a board of directors and 2 non-execs. We joined MBH in 2018 and we're the second company in the construction vertical, so have been an integral part of MBH for over 2 years. We have been doing all of this for over 40 years since our chairman, Mr. David de Boulay, started the business in 1978, where he started fitting out odd-bin stores in London. His meticulous attention to detail and the quality of the end result is a true value that Mr. de Boulay lived by, and what is now the foundation of the culture within the business. This is Team de Boulay that delivers and provides some wonderful spaces for many to enjoy. As we have mentioned, we have a board of directors, a commercial and admin team, along with health and safety, and a contracts team headed up by my contracts director, Mr. Lee Brownlee. We employ many site managers that oversee the detailed works on site. So the benefits of being part of MBH for a small or medium enterprise is the financial stability that they provide. They provide confidence and encouragement to go for projects that would normally be out of our reach, which enables us to have some growth. Here are a few examples of some of the works we have done. We've got Hawksmoor in top left, Jamie's Italian top right, and then the 2 at the bottom are different phases of the Marylebone Hotel. We've also got Copper Club just over Tower Bridge, Marylebone another phase. Then we've got Fortnum and Mason's restaurant called 45 Jermyn Street, and Aquavit, which is based in St James, just off Regent Street. Here's a list of our clients, or images of our clients, should I say. As you can see, they are broad and robust, and just by looking at the names that appear there, show that we are at the top of our game. So what are the plans for de Boulay for 2021? How are we going to do this? Well, de Boulay contracts have all the procedures in place on all our sites and in the office for COVID-19. And with the rollout of this vaccine, we anticipate that the sectors that were affected in 2020 will make a wonderful recovery. Our companies will grow and we'll all be able to socialize with friends and families in the amazing spaces that we have created. So here are our contact details. If you need anything further, don't hesitate to contact me. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Kevin Potter. I am the CEO of Gill Prime Specialist Contracts Limited. Gill Prime are a high-end construction company working across Europe and the UK in the blue chip retail, ultra prime residential, commercial, hospitality, sporting venues and private health clinic sectors. We have already had a very good start to this year with a high level of secured contracts and an incredibly good pipeline of projects in tender and final stages of negotiation. Some of these projects have been resurrected after being postponed from the beginning of last year. Confidence has certainly returned to our market, and I'm expecting this year to be a very busy and prosperous year for all of us at Gill Prime. We are currently recruiting new members of staff across all departments, and we are targeting to break our turnover record for this year. Thank you all for listening.
Hi, my name's Kieran Smythe. I'm Chief Executive Officer of KS Training, and I've just pulled together a few slides and a short presentation just to cover off what our plans are for 2021. So just to recap for you, we're a UK-based training provider and we specialise in delivering apprenticeships and accredited qualifications to the care sector. And our plans for 2021 are that we want to grow our EBIT by 20%. We're looking to develop new service lines in apprenticeships and the adult education budget. And we're also looking to increase our focus on and win more larger and multi-site clients. And then finally, we want to achieve at least a grade 2 good outcome from our expected Ofsted inspection, which we think will definitely be at some point in 2021. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gabriel from Learning Wings here in Singapore. Learning Wings is an education service provider. We work with schools and non-profit organizations since 2000. We offer a gamut of different programs, but mainly into 3 categories: English, math, and phonics. So it's all B2B. So in 2021, what do we aim to achieve? There are 2 main things that we aim to do. Number 1, it is to grow and expand our classes organically. But the looks of the current preliminary data, it looks to be even more classes than in 2019 before COVID, and certainly a lot more classes than 2020 when COVID hit. So that looks encouraging for us. The second thing we aim to do is to start and grow our online classes. Now, this is particularly interesting for us because traditionally we've always been offering physical classes. But in 2020, we had 6 months of online classes when COVID hit. Now, although our classes have resumed back to its organic and our physical form, we aim to start this online classes because we found it encouraging what we did in 2020. And this is particularly exciting for us because this is brand new for us. And so this will be a new revenue stream on top of our physical classes. And so these 2 things are the things that we aim to achieve in 2021 for us.
My name is Diane Woodall and I'm the Managing Director at Logistica Training. Logistica provides short courses to the health and social care, hospitality, business and the retail sector. We currently access funding via the European Social Funding Stream. We deliver a variety of courses that you can see on the screen. Mental health, digital skills, customer service, and a favourite of mine, creative activities. In 2021, we've got plans to expand as a business and diversify. We've collaborated with a bid writer and we're now bidding for new contracts via new funding streams. We're also adding a new arm to our sales division. Whereas in 2020 we only generated sales for Logistica, in 2021 we intend to offer this service to other training providers in and outside of the MBH group. I'm so proud of my Logistica team and how they've adapted and worked with new ways of working during this COVID pandemic. It's made us stronger as a company, and their dedication has enabled us to be excited and enthused about 2021.
Hello, my name is Melissa Jeanette Shea. I'm the CEO of Meeting of the Minds and Everyday Realty Services. I joined MBH as a strategic principal on September 1st, 2020. And both of our companies are located in the United States. We focus on 4 core principles. For Long Island RIA, that stands for the Long Island Real Estate Investors Association. We held networking events even during COVID, and we do educational events, mentoring and masterminding. For our everyday realty services, we focus on the brokerage, a traditional real estate brokerage. And so most of our income is earned from the commissions of sales of real estate. And everyday funding is the lending or brokering out of mortgages for those investment properties. So that's a little bit about our 2 companies. Since joining MBH as a strategic partner, we came on with an EBIT of about $630 US. I mostly joined because of the global collaboration between like-minded companies. It is amazing that we could be such international companies and all face the same issues. I'm grateful I joined during the COVID time because it has really helped me sharpen our skills and look for more creative ways to grow businesses during unsettling times. So some future plans, we're very excited about the educational platform as we now have an online platform, and we have made relationships with other RIAs, Real Estate Investors Associations, throughout the United States. So we signed our first contract just last week for Hudson Valley RIA. So we will be doing their educational program. That contract alone will bring in about $30,000 annually in revenue. We're looking to establish a new RIA in the South Carolina area, and we're working on our partnership for our RIA connections in Connecticut. So between these relationships, I think that we'll see a lot of growth on our educational side. I do want to pre-warn you that we are going to have some hiccups in the market with the changing of prices. So what we're doing to counteract that is focusing on financing. So on the everyday realty services, what we're going to do is there's a lot of people with equity in their properties right now. And so we're going to be focusing more on the funding than the actual sales of real estate, as that has dipped just a bit with COVID. But the educational has picked up quite a bit. So I'm very excited about 2021. And it's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Hi, my name's Amanda Sumner and I am the Managing Director at MBQ Nail and Beauty Specialist Academy. Our first academy opened in Macclesfield, Cheshire in March of 2016. At that time, we only delivered level 3 nail diplomas through our advanced learner loans to around 30 learners a year. Our second academy opened in Wythenshawe in Manchester in September of 2017 as we identified a gap in level 3 funded courses in this area. In December of 2018, we decided to relocate our Macclesfield Academy to Chesterfield with a larger community. Currently, we deliver level 3 diplomas in nails, beauty and theatrical makeup and hair to over 250 learners a year between both of our centres. 2020 was a difficult time with the start of COVID-19. Within a week of lockdown, we quickly adopted a completely new way of course delivery, including blended learning through practical Zoom sessions, and we built an online learning portal to deliver course theory and practical video sessions. In October 2020, we joined MBH as a tactical acquisition. We saw this as a platform for growth with added security alongside Acacia Training. This has opened more diverse opportunities for funding and additional resources such as apprenticeships, traineeships and the new Kickstart programme. We are very excited to work with like-minded entrepreneurs within MBH and to take advantage of their knowledge, skills and expertise to grow our business further in other areas and locations.
Hi everybody, Alan Preslin from Parenta here. Just a quick recap, we're the UK's largest provider of back office services for the early years nursery sector, training about 2,000 nursery staff annually and providing software and fee collection services. In total, we work with about a third of all the early years nurseries and early years settings in the UK. So 2020 forced some real positive changes on the way we do business. And as a consequence, we actually had remarkably the most successful Q4 we've ever had in the company's history. For us then, 2021 is all about building on the new ideas and the systems we've developed and making sure we deliver a really exceptional year. Of course, balancing the needs of our people and the needs of our customers with both strong revenue and strong EBIT growth. We're uniquely placed to really make a difference in 2021 and remain really optimistic despite the impact of COVID-19. The changes to our systems, to our processes, to our methodologies, I suppose the pivot, if you like, the pivot on the way that we deliver our services to our customers has made us profoundly more efficient. And we expect the consequence of that to be a really significantly enhanced bottom line this year. So I hope this update's been in value and thank you very much for listening. Cheers.
Hi, it's Paul Seabridge from Robinson's Caravans. So in 2021, we're aiming to build upon 2020 and continue to grow the business. In 2020, we've invested significantly in a number of improvements to the business, including new CRM software, and we're becoming a much more digital business. And this is all designed to continue to improve our customer experience. We're continuing to diversify more into the motorhome sector, where there's certainly an increased demand and higher margin sales, with the aim to sell more units in that particular sector in 2021 than we did in 2020. And finally, we have a big push and focus on acquisitions, and we hope to complete some tactical and strategic acquisitions during 2020.
Hi, my name's Vicky Smith and I'm the Principal Care Manager of Samuel Hobson House. Samuel Hobson House is a 39-bedded residential care home based in Staffordshire. We care for people over the age of 65 with a dementia-type illness. Our aims and objectives for 2021 is to maintain the occupancy within our residential care home. It's also for all our residents and staff to be vaccinated against COVID-19 and for visitors to be allowed back into our care home. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Ben Tomlin and I'm the Managing Director of UK Sports Training. We're a training provider who qualifies personal trainers and sports massage therapists. We've been doing this since 2012. Our HQ is in Essex, but we cover all around the UK. The resources we use for delivery are e-learning, Zoom calls, webinars and practical workshops. In 2021, we're going to diversify income streams by adding courses that fit the learner journey. So what this means is learners can upskill onto different courses, or those who aren't quite ready for the main personal trainer course, they can complete an entry-level course beforehand that prepares them for the main PT course in the future. This opens up different contract opportunities. To do this, we'll need to build additional relationships with gyms and deliver it to fit their employment needs. This will mean an increase in the staff pool to meet demands. We'll also be offering free workshops to current and ex-students whose studies have been affected by the pandemic, so they don't miss out on practical development because of temporary gym closures.
Hello, my name is Gary Marshall and I'm the Principal of Victoria Gosden Travel Limited, or VGT Taxis. I've been involved within the taxi industry for approaching 35 years, including 16 years for a software house supplying dispatch software to the taxi trade. VGT joined MBH on the 14th of December 2020 and was a tactical acquisition, joining ADT in the transport vertical. In March 2020, our turnover was just shy of 1.9 million with an EBIT of 255,000. VGT is a taxi operation covering school transport, corporate transport, and offering both local and long distance taxis. VGT is based in the small affluent town of Fleet in Hampshire and covers Fleet, Farnham, Hook and the surrounding villages. To help you place that, it's on junction 4A of the M3, approximately 25 miles from Heathrow, travelling towards Southampton. Over the last 7 years, VGT have made 5 acquisitions, growing the business from a 20 car to a 100 car fleet. Over that time, we've seen year-on-year growth, achieving our best year end in March 20. However, growth was always limited by financial and infrastructural limitations. Joining with MBH Group will help alleviate those limitations. Whilst COVID-19 has severely impacted the business, the corporate travel being part of our mainstay, it has also created great opportunities for the future. The taxi market is currently fragmented. During the COVID crisis, operators have been talking to one another more and more about working closer together and forming working groups or mergers. However, these working groups or mergers have always had difficulties in the setup, normally around control, technologies, finance and personalities, often stopping the merger from progressing. I believe the current economical climate, with the MBH agglomeration mechanism, many of these obstacles are removed, making it easier for potential acquisitions or agglomeration. Over the next year, VGT will restructure its foundations, ready for the next step in growth. We'll need to take on further technologies in the form of booking apps and automated phone systems, more akin to the users in larger cities. We are also in the process of communicating with other transport companies regarding acquisitions, whether that is directly or through the MBH agglomeration mechanism. The next year will still be hard, and recovery from COVID-19 will be slow until the confidence of the business traveller, the holiday maker, and the party reveller returns. However, we aim to invest in the right foundations, make further acquisitions, and put us in the best position for a post-COVID recovery. Thank you.
Find out more today at mbhcorporation.com.
Brilliant, thank you. And thank you to all the principals for providing their videos during what I know is a really busy time. And a special thank you to Ian Elsey for showing us all up with his amazing professionally done video, but it looked absolutely incredible. So well done on that. We've had a question from Richard. Richard, I'm going to come to your question. It's actually very in line with questions we've had come in before the event. But just before that, for those of you that are eagle-eyed, you will have spotted that we have a new member of the team over at De Boulay. And as succession planning is a question we often get from investors, you know, what happens as one principal exits the business and another one moves in. I thought this is a great opportunity just to cover that. So I will come back to your question, Richard, in a second. But if I could move over to you first, Gary, and just ask, obviously you're the, I don't want to say outgoing principal because I know we're not losing you from the group, but you know, what's the succession plan? How's that been like for De Boulay? How's that worked? And you know, what does this mean for you now individually in MBH?
Thanks, Vicky. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Scott for joining the principal board. I mean, it's a big step, so congratulations. It has been a part of De Boulay's strategy since James Lamb, my husband, and I became a part of the team, and this became more evident for us even more when we joined the MBH family. It has been important that, and for every business I would say, it's very important that we identify key talent and develop them in critical roles at the right time for the future of our businesses. And Scott has been the MD of De Boulay for over 5 years, De Boulay contracts, and has demonstrated leadership and capabilities numerous times. So that part of the story is already fitting in quite beautifully here. He has supported the company through growth. We have seen it grow from 6 million to right up to 15 million pre-COVID times, and it will hopefully have a positive impact in the coming years as well. To recently supporting the team and firefighting through all the COVID times. I mean, it has been a challenging time for the construction industry in general. As you can imagine, it's not just work, it's also looking after people on site, it's health and safety, making sure the clients are safe, your teams are safe, and trying to find new work and everyday job as well on top of this. I believe that this is an exciting year coming up, and we have quite a few projects on the board as well, and this vision for Scott taking the position will be a great start for 2021 for ourselves and for Scott. Hopefully, Scott, you're up to the challenge. The strategic plan we have had is in place, has been in place, and we wanted to act last year. However, because of COVID, we have delayed the decision to do this by 1 year. I will be very much involved in the business. I have been so far with business development, with talent support, strategic planning and acquisitions, mainly for the business going further. Scott stepping up into the role allows me to have that time to focus these items and develop the business further and make the connection stronger. James Lamb will be more focused on the financial strategy support and supporting the team and Scott into the busy 2021. So I guess my roundabout way of saying this is, unfortunately, you won't be seeing less of me, probably you'll be seeing a bit more of me. I hope this answers.
Thank you, Gary, and we're glad, we want to see more of you, so that's absolutely incredible that you're still staying. And Scott, just moving to you, just tell us a little bit about yourself. I think it'd be great to know your journey so far with De Boulay. Obviously, it seems you've been with De Boulay before MBH, even before the company joined.
Yes, thank you, Vicky. I mean, it's pretty evident. I need to stick to my day job, and presenting in front of a camera is not my forte. But yes, a little bit about me. I'm originally from South Africa. Immigrated to the UK back in 2002, having obtained a degree in computer science and commerce. Since coming over, I've worked with some very big companies that have given me the tools that I have today. Companies like Lang O'Rourke, where I undertook some wonderful residential projects, Pepe Contracts and Primus Build, that specialize in high-end and uber luxury residential projects. But where I really kind of cut my teeth was at the 5-star Langham Hotel, which is in the heart of London, where we had to restore a lot of the public areas and the reception, Palm Court, all the dining areas where royalty and the very high net worth people go and dine out. There were even columns of stone that we had to purchase that were the same price of a house. So the attention to detail and the quality is something that was drilled into me from sort of day one. And that's kind of where my career took a bit of a turn. I joined Deboulet Contracts, as you alluded to, Vicky, in 2012 as a quantity surveyor. And I was promoted to commercial director in February 2017 and managing director in April 2017. So it was quite a big jump and a quick succession plan for the business. It was a bit of a bumpy road for the 18 months, but James and Gary Lamb came along and MBH subsequently, and the business grew from strength to strength. We managed to increase our turnover by about 40% in 2019. And for the first 3 months of 2020, before the pandemic hit, we were exceeding our monthly figures were 50% above our budget. So we were on a massive upstream projection. But from the time when I became a director, the high street chains like Jamie's Italian, Pizza Express, etc., they used to be our bread and butter, disappeared. And we had to acquire new clients. And that's exactly what I've done. I'm honoured to say that we've got the likes of Harrods and Fortnum and Mason as one of my repeatable clients. So our reputation within the industry is one of loyalty, team building, and I've installed a bit of a can-do attitude and culture within the business. So we try and treat each contract and each client with the same level of expectations and respect, because ultimately it's their projects that they are investing in us. Last year's been a bit of a tough one for us, particularly for me as a leader, where we've had many elements that we've had to do that we've not done before. Like mental health for all our staff has been one of the most important priorities for us. Working from home, the continual Zoom calls that we've had, and let's not forget homeschooling our children, which has been seriously testing for us all. But with the grit and determination of the team involved, not just within Deboulet Contracts, but with team MBH, we've managed to survive, and we're still here and we're doing what we do best. So I hope that gives you kind of a small flavour of where I am, what I'm doing, and what is valuable to us. Thank you, Vicky.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Scott. And I think we all feel you with the homeschooling. If nothing else, the fact that children drain your internet, the little angels that they are. So moving over to Richard's question. So Richard's asking, whilst we've all got a vision and defined outcomes for the year ahead, what specific challenges, barriers and blockers do we think that the company faces? So I'm going to move to you, Kevin, with this question. I think being in the construction vertical, I think it's fair to say you guys all had a challenging time through COVID last year, but moving into 2021, what challenges do you perceive, what barriers, and how are you going to overcome them, I think is probably one of the most important things.
Yeah, I think like everybody, the construction industry was certainly hit for six at the beginning of last year. I think we all managed to keep on going, and the government was insistent that construction carried on. I think all the construction workers are seen as being immune to COVID. We just carried on regardless. But yeah, we put lots of procedures in place. Projects carried on. Consumer confidence was certainly hit. A lot of them big projects were put on hold, but they're coming back online again this year. So a lot of projects that were put on hold, they're starting again this year. The government stimulus has put lots of money back into the economy. So yeah, I think this year is going to be certainly a much better year than last year. Yeah, new projects are coming online, and lots of existing buildings are being repurposed. And as you know, a lot of the retail is going, but we're seeing some fantastic projects for repurposing high streets, different schemes. So I think that's going to be certainly tail end of this year and beginning of next year. So yeah, this year I think there's going to be a good year for the construction industry.
Yeah, and obviously in the UK, construction has been able to continue, like you say, and I suppose it's moving from one challenge of COVID and projects being pushed back to now those those projects have basically stockpiled, and now you're going to have this work on, and you've got to respond and build that work in. Would you say that's fair comment?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And you say, yeah, so the repurposing of a lot of the high streets and all that, there's some, yeah, some really fascinating schemes that's coming up. So yeah, I think it's going to be, the construction industry, yeah, is going to have a buoyant next 2-3 years at least.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Kevin. And also sticking with Richard's question about challenges, Alan, I'm going to move to you from the education vertical, just from a perspective, from education. So what specific challenges, barriers, blockers do you think Parenta in the education sector face this year?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think our biggest challenge will actually be having too much work on. As you know, Vicky, and as everybody else in the education sector knows, the government has put a lot of very positive schemes in to our sector, and now employers can get very significant grants of up to £3,000 for bringing on an apprentice. So I think as we come out of lockdown, we'll see an awful lot of additional work coming on. And I suspect our biggest challenge will be a shortage of staff. And so we started thinking that through already and making sure that we're putting our feelers out for new staff and working that through. But there's certainly huge demand already coming through for what we do. And I suspect it will just continue to increase.
Brilliant. And moving outside of the UK, because obviously we're not all based in the UK, talking to you, Melissa, how do you see things over? Obviously the US has had a lot going on over there. I think that's fair to say. How are things looking from your perspective, in your industry?
So actually, it's been pretty exciting start to the new year on the mentoring and the educational side. Just like the educational sectors, we're seeing a big surge in that. And also people wanting to get their cash out with the uncertainty of our political environment right now. People are more anxious to get their hands on their cash. So we are starting a lot of refinances. So while the retail sales have waned out, mostly people are leaving New York right now because we're based in the New York. We're seeing a drain on that, but definitely refinancing and getting their cash out is definitely a big surge we didn't count on. It's a good blessing for us. So I'm excited about it.
Brilliant. Thank you. And I'm going to move to Aaron as well. Aaron being over in Australia, what's the challenges for the construction sector for you and Cobalt?
Yeah, good question. I mean, the construction sector, the space that we play in, which is mainly the government space, defence space, to be honest, that hasn't really been affected too much by COVID. If you're playing in the residential side of construction, it's a little bit different and they have slowed down a bit, and depending on what state you're in as well. So, Cobalt's in Canberra, and because all the construction in Canberra is mainly done and run by the government. So it's all government funded projects. So it doesn't really slow down. It hasn't really slowed down. But in other states around Australia, which we're not really servicing, has slowed down quite dramatically. So I think it's just luck of the draw. We're in quite a good state with everything that just happened. And moving forward, post-COVID, historically, Australia goes through a huge infrastructure boom as well. So we're waiting on that. And there's a lot of talks about that happening right now. A lot of state governments putting in billions of dollars into the infrastructure spending. So we're quite excited for the outlook over the next, 1, 2, 3, 4 years ahead.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Aaron. And I'm going to move to another question now that's come in from Milan. So thank you for your question, Milan. This is talking about those that took advantage of the extra bond programme. How was that approached and the implications of that? So I'm going to move to Paul Seabridge, if that's all right with you, Paul, just to talk us through how the extra bond programme was approached in some of the deals you've been involved in.
Yeah, sure. So I think my own personal view of the extra bond programme is it's a real game changer and probably opens the door to potentially more acquisitions. So effectively, a company that joins MBH can be issued with a listed bond for the value. It's a 5-year bond, and I think the bond's an issue at the moment. I think the Euro bond is 2% coupon and the GBP bond is 5% coupon. So effectively, in 5 years' time, the business owner joining MBH will receive at maturity the full value of the bond, and they'll also earn interest along the way. I guess it gives them more, definitive value. You know, it's a fixed bond, it's worth this amount of money, you'll receive that in 5 years' time, which is maybe slightly different to some of the share deals that MBH has done, where, you know, a business owner joining will swap their shares for the value of shares in MBH, and obviously shares can go up as well as down, whereas the bond is fixed. And I think we've, since the bond was listed in June or July of this year, I think there's been 6 or 7 companies that have joined with that, and because they are a listed bond, these bonds can also be traded, so they could be sold to investors for a discount, and MBH are also willing to buy back bonds over time at a smaller discount than perhaps the market would be. So just sort of gives a different route for us making acquisitions.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. And we've had a question from Sawern about do we have a mixture of companies and do we have healthcare companies? Yeah, MBH is about diversification. I think the key thing about the companies is that they are owner-run, owner-grown, and the diversity of the different companies against different verticals, different countries is part of the strength of the group. So yes, we do have a diverse mixture of companies, diverse mixture of people, and that is all part of the model, but quite happy to send you some further information on how that works and some of the concepts behind that. So thank you for that question. I've got a question for David Hunter over at ADT. I've got a bit of a double question for you, David, because I'm going to tag in going back a little bit to Richard's question about, you know, specific challenges in the taxi industry. But also your tactical acquisition strategy, and, you know, congratulations on bringing Gary and the VGT team, you know, into the group. But I think the two are quite aligned, listening to Gary's presentation, both around direction of travel and challenges and so on for the sector. So yeah, a bit of a double question for you, but I'm over to you.
Okay, so sorry, you were breaking up a little. What was the question there? The exact question, Victoria? I've got a really bad line here for some reason.
It was just a question around what the taxi industry is looking like, and also the challenges you had, and also your tactical acquisition strategy with VGT.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, I've got that this time. So I think, you know, Gary kind of summed it up a little in his video presentation, is because of COVID and the onslaught of new technologies, GPS tracking, AI, cloud-based technologies, the industry is changing quite quickly, and there's also the bolt-ons that we can now do. So there's mobility as a service. So, you know, if you're booking a business trip or a holiday, then there's a number of points in that procedure that you'll touch base with. You will need a taxi to the train station, train to the airport, and then times might change. So we all link into this, what we call mobility as a service, which I think is where the future is. It's where there'll be one app that does all that for you, from booking the hotel, any changes that might occur, it will just go along the line and seamlessly change the booking. So these traditional little taxi companies that we all were, all of a sudden we're part of that new vision. And as more people come out of car ownership and come into car sharing and so on, we're part of that new infrastructure. So this has brought on a lot of networking, a lot of companies working together. Now, in most cases, not always do you have like-minded taxi owners. So the vehicle, such as MBH, has helped us to bring companies on board and to have those discussions. So yeah, the future is bright. It's changing at the moment. Obviously, with COVID, our nighttime trade has been smashed to pieces. But likewise, our daytime trade has got busier with people trusting taxis over public transport. You're actually in a taxi for a shorter amount of time than you would be on a bus, for example. So yeah, and we've got more health contracts, but we're hoping in the UK by April the 1st, with obviously the vaccine program, which is, I think today 6.5 million people here in the UK have been vaccinated. By mid-February, 15 million. So that's the vulnerable group vaccinated. We can see it bouncing back from April onwards. And as Gary says, it might be a while before confidence returns in business travel. But we're working with Gary to adapt to new markets for him. Business travel, I think we've all learned, as we're doing now, to look at each other over a Zoom call. So maybe we won't be jumping on a plane so much, but maybe if we're meeting new clients, the Zoom is the introduction, and then as we bond that relationship, that's where we'll be doing face-to-face meetings. But yeah, the future's bright. We're very excited about the technology and looking forward to 2021 bouncing back here in the UK after early spring, mid-spring.
Wonderful. And moving over to you, Gary Marshall. Sorry to have to say your second name. We have a few Garys. But moving over to you, what was your motivation to join with ADT and join MBH and become part of our MBH family?
It looked like just a great opportunity. I've been buying other taxi companies on a mini scale. So when I started talking to David, he started looking at it on a nationwide scale. So I bought 5 companies over 7 years and changed the fleet. We had a 20-car fleet when we started only doing school transport, and finished up to a 100-car fleet doing business transport, school transport, the whole shebang, and bought it into different towns. And David's looking at doing the same thing. His plan is to try and do that on a national front. And limitations of finance was always the biggest thing. Each time I bought someone, I was often not able to look at another acquisition until that one had firstly embedded in and my finances had stabilized. There's a weird role of financing a taxi company when it comes on board, because taxi drivers won't wait for their money. So if you take an account job, the driver wants the money instantly. He needs that money, yesterday. But you don't get that account money for perhaps 60 to 90 days. So there's this flux of sudden extra money you need to buy on top of the deal that always used to create problems, but it slowed you down. I suppose the prime interest for me was the opportunity to be able to do those acquisitions at a lot faster rate, and to add it nationally, which was very exciting. The market, which is what David was talking about, is in a strange place as well. There's lots of taxi owners that have lost their mojo. They've slipped back 5 years from where their business was, and they can't face doing that 5 years again to build it back up. And they're thinking that maybe it's the time now for them to retire, which gives you opportunities to acquire. There are people like myself that are thinking, well, this is an opportunity to acquire. It's great to be able to expand. I've got the finances, and people are now thinking about selling their business, whereas before it was a lot harder. And working with ADT on that national transport project, joining forces on marketing and on IT projects, it just seemed like a great opportunity to bring some of my experiences too, particularly for the market that I know. I've been in it my whole life. My parents ran a cab firm from before I was born. So working for the software house meant I traveled nationally and internationally in some cases, and made a lot of contacts through the whole of the taxi trade within the UK. And that made going back to that, working with David, going back to potential people that I've known for 25. In fact, that's where John Gardner's not on this call, but obviously is heavily involved with ADT. I've known John Gardner for 25 years. I went and installed his software system 25 years ago at the first taxi company he ran. So going back to those sort of individuals where you've had a long-term relationship and you can describe what your vision is, and you can then show them your experience of changing from where you were before you sold the business to how you're doing after you sold the business, it creates a fantastic future image for them. That, I hope it's going to be exciting going forward.
That's great, and good to hear about the collaborative working. I think that's what MBH at the heart of it is all about, that working together, being a family unit. But wow, it's that time already. An hour has absolutely flown by. So it is time to bring the webinar to a close. I want to thank all the principals and panelists for joining. I want to thank everybody that's joined us to watch the event. We do look forward to seeing you again. Our next event is in April. So take care, stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you in a few months' time. Bye-bye.